Good morning, Year 8. I hope you're well and having a lovely day. For today's lesson, you will need your exercise books and a pen. So for your do now, I would like you to brain dump everything you remember about the extract Sleeping with Giants. So please pause the video now in order to do that. Today, we are going to create some work to go in your writing project folders. So I hadn't introduced this to you before we had to leave school, but basically there's a writing file that you will be taking with you as you move up to school, which will contain evidence of your best writing. So I believe they're currently in E3 at the moment, but when you come back to school, because we will be coming back at some point, I will give you the folders and then you can put your work in from this year and take them on with you as you go up into Year 9. So it's important to make sure you keep the work that you do safe until we're back together again. So in today's lesson, you'll be choosing a piece of work you wish to add to the project, redrafting it, editing it, and then writing it up formally for your folder. So I'd like you to spend 5 minutes choosing the piece. So over this unit, you've produced several pieces of creative writing. You have 5 minutes to decide which of those pieces you would like to put into your folder. The pieces you can choose from are the description of your mermaid hotels, week 1, the world settings you described, week 2, the persuasive speech advertising a hotel, week 3, your euphemism descriptions, week 3, or your hotel reviews, week 3. So pause the video for 5 minutes to choose which piece you would like to use. Okay, so improvement pointers. Now that you've chosen the piece of writing you are going to redraft, you need to have some ideas as to how you can redraft or enhance your pieces. So firstly, use a thesaurus to change and enhance 5 pieces of vocabulary. So you're very lucky, you're on computers, most of you, so you can just go to thesaurus.com, type in the word you want to change, and it will give you a whole list of potential words you can use instead. Use an additional 2 language devices, different from the ones you have used already. Add in sensory imagery, so your piece should refer to at least 2 of the senses. Try to use sophisticated punctuation, such as semicolons, colons, and so on. Try to use a variety of sentence structures, and what's really good is having a long sentence followed by a short one-word sentence, so try and get that in if you can. Make sure your spelling and grammar is accurate. So please could you pause the video to note this down. You can just do it in note form, so then you have a checklist of things, checklist of ways to improve your original piece. Oh, and finally, make sure your work is paragraphed. Also, you can always type up and print out your final pieces if you'd prefer, rather than writing it out. That's absolutely fine. Okay, so this is an example of an improvement. So the original piece reads, "There was nothing in sight for miles. No buildings, no people. Just a thick blanket of beige that continued for miles. Dunes as high as 3-story houses tower over you, like it's mocking you for even thinking about scaling it. The sand that covered these dunes, it's different, not the soft crumbly sand that you find at the beach." So this is the improvement. There is nothing in sight for miles. No architecture, no humanity, just a thick blanket of beige that continues for miles. Dunes as high as 3-story houses tower menacingly over you, like they are mocking you for even thinking about scaling them. The sand that covers these dunes is different, not the fragile, flaky sand that you find at the beach. So as you've noticed, the punctuation is more ambitious. You've got the semicolon in there. You've got more ambitious vocabulary, architecture, humanity, menacingly, that lovely adverb there. So it's a bit more detailed, higher quality vocabulary, higher quality punctuation. Maybe to make it better, you could amend the sentence structure slightly, so maybe have a 1-word sentence after a long sentence, something like that. Okay, so before you get started, I would like you to pause the video to refresh your memory about colons and semicolons. If you're very familiar with them, then it will suffice simply to read through it. If you're not quite as familiar, then please pause the video to make some notes on this slide. Right, now you've had the briefing and had the example, get started. So, tend to your original piece of writing, look at the checklist, think about ways to improve it, and if you get stuck, you can always go back to the part of the video where I improved the paragraph, the original paragraph, to give you an idea of how to improve. So pause the video now, and for the rest of the lesson, you'll be writing out your writing piece project. Okay, so that brings us to the end of today's lesson. Thank you very much for your hard work. I hope you found it a rewarding experience, making that really good piece of work even better. And I really look forward to seeing some of them when we're back at school. I know I won't be seeing you potentially when you go into year 9, but you can come and collect your writing folders from my room. And when you do so, I hope I'll get to see what you've produced during this time when I give you your writing folders. So thank you once again, and have a lovely rest of your day, and see you next time.